So y'all may have saw this video. I want to talk about this from an economic standpoint. But yeah, there was a reporter that was talking to a homeless person out of San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, this person was laying it on them. And I want to talk about some of the things that he had brought up. Less about the video itself, but some of these concepts. It's covered here by Blaze. But yeah, this man was actually out of Texas, and he flocked to San Francisco because of like basically the laws that are existing that really, for the most part, subsidize that behavior of homelessness. And as you see right here, it documents that he says that he went to San Francisco because of these anti-camping laws. He gets $820 a month in welfare and food stamps. It also says he sold fucking fentanyl to a 15-year-old, which shouldn't be doing that kind of fucked up shit. But what does this do? Right? And let's like really dive into the economics of this all. This is just what the state has historically done. And that is they have subsidized bad behavior. And this is why you get so much of it. I understand that the progressive, they think that everything is, you know, okay, there's not a problem that they have seen where they don't think you can throw more money at it and fix it. I think California shows you, and in other areas as well, but especially California in this country shows you that that's not how you solve any of these problems, whether it be with homelessness or drug usage or any of these issues. And, you know, for you guys that have family members, I talked about this before. I always hated how we talked about homelessness in the bubble. Because they talk about it like, well, every person that's homeless is only homeless because they can't, like, oh, they were some person that was just down and out, had an unfortunate situation, and, you know, they just couldn't get back on their feet, but they want to get back on their feet. No, some fucking homeless people, number one, want to be fucking homeless. Number two, not doing everything they can to not be homeless. And number three, which is perhaps the most important, because I've seen it with my own fucking family members, put them fucking selves in fucking homelessness. And when you sort of subsidize their failure, you're not only going to get more of it, you're incentivizing them to do it. The great Thomas Sowell talks about this. It's a video, and he was talking to some more welfare statism, and he was like basically saying that welfare is basically designed to it incentivizes failure, and this is designed to have you fail, because it says, so as long as you fail, you will get this money or thing that they promise you, right? So in this case, you get food stamps, all of that shit. The minute you get above that line, they strip all of that shit away from you. They strip it all away from you. So you're enabling them by doing that. You're not doing anything to combat it. The best thing that you could possibly do is, for one, privatize the entire situation, right? That way people can decide not only where their money go. I hate this term where people use, I'm okay with my taxpayer dollars going. I don't give a fuck what you okay with. If you're so okay with it, how about this? You keep the fucking money and then you go do it yourself. Why are you trying to have me opt into it with a gun held to my head? Huh? But on a serious note, you know, for people that, you know, for the older that you guys that are involved in the church growing up, you know, this is stuff that we had always did, stuff for the homeless all the time. But, you know, it's spent more efficiently because, you know, this is other people's money that you fucking playing with. And it's not some pool of fucking resources with administrators taking money off the top to try to then institute some sort of plan that doesn't even fucking work. When it comes to poverty, man, it's a lot of uncomfortable conversations that we don't have almost at all, because I guess they think it's offensive, or rather they have this warped line of thinking where they think that every person that is in a position where they're unfortunate, rather, are in there because of some external factor. And the government can then be used to try to combat that. And, you know, you hear leftists talk about it all the time. Well, we just need free this. We need free that. We just need to throw more money at this. And it never resolves the problem. You often get more of it. San Francisco, which was once a decent city, is a shithole. Our big man's Nerd Roddy got the fuck up out of there for good reasons. Now he in Texas. It's a shithole, man. You get there by way of the policies it is. See, some of this stuff is a cultural issue, man. You can't fix this shit with statism. It's a cultural problem, and it has to be addressed. And some of that requires, I don't know, people to be responsible, which I know folks don't like to talk about, right? Because in order to really solve these issues of poverty, you're going to have to start looking at individuals, and you're going to have to start looking at them as individuals acting as such. Not these just hopeless people who just were unfortunately done wrong by external factors. No. How about what did you do to put yourself in that fucking situation? Some of y'all know them. Some of them y'all own family members. You know, a lot of us got that family member. Other family members try to get this motherfucker a job. He don't want to work. So many people that are caught up in this welfare statism that are just that. But you treat them like babies, essentially, that can't fend for themselves. And unfortunately, you want people to be robbed and stolen from it and then subsidize it. And the ideas that you have to try to save people often amplifies the problem. You have no idea what you're doing. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and Odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.